We did this. I did a thing right here. I routed out a little bit. I don't know if I routed out enough exactly, but I did. I routed it out so that this says here it's a licensed underfoot rose pats. Okay, so this isn't exactly in right, but yeah. So it'll go this way, yeah, and I can dive bomb a whole bunch until it runs into the thing there, and I can go up a bit. Well, it probably won't go up quite that much, but yeah, it'll still go both ways here. It does eventually run into the back here, but I don't think I care because I'm not really going to be dive bombing on this. I just wanted something with a Floyd Rose. So this is it, Mr. Aklot. It's interesting that they put the little logo in there. I'll try not to keep all the sawdust from me routing it because you're not going to see that. Anyway, all right, here we are again, and we've got the body ready. I sanded it and I put some just washed it kind of with a damp paper towel. The grain popped a little bit on the side, not so much on the front, but a little bit on the back. And so I did some more sanding to make sure that it was nice and smooth. And it is now, as you can tell from my cheapo gloves. Hey, this is a budget project. We're going all out on the budget gear here. So cheapo gloves, and we have decided with some sunset yellow, at least for part of it. I might go with some other colors in there too. But sunset yellow, if you've ever seen a sunset, is kind of orange. So I just got some water here, and I'm going to put some of that in here. What is sunset yellow, you ask? What is this? What kind of stain is this? Well, it's food dye. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go with that. I'm going to stir it up here. Yeah, there we go. All right, I think I'm going to need it darker than that because it's going to happen. It's going to kind of lighten up as it dries. That's better. I think I'm going to go even a little darker. I don't think it's changing it at all. Okay, we can always put more on later. All right, that looks like that's ready. So try it on the back first, and then it'll make it easier when we get to the front to see if that's exactly what we want. So just another. This is a really good paper towel. It doesn't leave lint or anything like that anywhere. Not that lint comes from paper towels, but you know what I mean. Okay. Obviously, lint comes from your dryer. Well, my dryer, anyway. If you need some lint, ask me. Okay, well, this is about what I can do with this at the moment. Did I bump the camera? My bad. All right. I mean, I could get it in here, but I don't feel the need to. Maybe the camera fell as I was doing that. I feel like it was up higher. So it's a lighter color. Yeah. I might add some red to it to make it a little darker for the second coat. And that's very interesting. Take a look right here. It does not want stain. It's not that I didn't try. It's just like, no. Don't exactly know why. See if there's any spots on the sides that are doing that. Maybe I need to sand it or something. Yeah, what's going on is this camera is falling. So gravity is happening, and the camera does not want to stay in place. All right, let's hear it for gravity. All right. There's another spot. Will not take stain. That's weird. Yeah, there's one over here, up there. Okay. Now here I do want to get in here because you'll kind of be able to see this a little bit anyway, even with the trim on there. Here's a question. So when you're sanding like a flame top like this, do you sand with the grain or with the flame? I went with the grain. And I like that, but yes, I do want it to be darker because I think it's going to lighten up a little bit when it dries. So I was using those gloves so that I wouldn't turn my fingers orange as I did this, and took off the gloves only to find I still have an orange finger. Is the thumb a finger, or is it just a thumb? Regardless, it's orange. All right, I have now applied my third coat of crystal clear lacquer. We'll see how this turns out. I was a little bit skeptical when it said that it would not leave brush marks, but so I put on a very light first coat and came back in 2 hours because that's what it said to do. And sure enough, there were no brush marks. It was very nice. So I put on a thicker second coat, came back in 2 hours, and again, no brush marks. So here's a third coat I just put on. You can see clearly that there are brush marks. Yeah. So, but when I come back, it should self-level and do all that. So that's just the back, and see if 3 coats is enough. It says it should be, but like I said, that first coat was really thin because I was skeptical. All right, so we'll check that out and see if it needs a 4th coat after a couple hours here. I haven't posted an update in a while on this, but yes, this is that Aklot Strat that I've been modifying. I haven't quite, but obviously it's going to need those tuners at some point. But and I got to finish putting the bridge on there. Neck looks about the same, but here's our body, orange, and the pick guard. I changed it because I decided the cream color didn't quite look all that great with the orange. Should have thought of that earlier and gone with a different color, but I didn't. So yeah, I just decided to paint it silver. Got the Floyd Rose installed there. Of course, no strings on it, so I don't quite know exactly how the tension's going to be. Have to play with that quite a bit, I'm sure. But that's what it's looking like right now. Might change to a different color knobs, but haven't quite decided yet. Hi there. So here's the finished product. Finally, the Aklot do-it-yourself Strat kit. I went with this orange that I thought looked nice with the flame maple. Put my little logo there on the headstock, and enjoying the nice, smooth, roasted maple neck. I did not use the stock 6-point trim that was in there. I instead put on a locking nut and this knockoff. Actually, it says Floyd Rose license, so maybe it's legal, maybe it's just someone put that on there, but it was pretty cheap. It does work as long as I'm not dive bombing. Okay, so none of that. How does it sound? Well, it sounds like this. Okay, we've got right now it's in the bridge position, and it's in single coil mode, which is just this one. But if I go like this, then it's both of them. Humbucking mode, right? If I go here, back into humbucker mode, then we got all 3 of these going at once. Oh boy. How about just single coils? Just the middle? neck. And just the neck. Might sound nice if you roll off the tone a little bit. Yeah, this tone controls the neck and the middle, but this one is just the bridge. So, what about if we give it a whole bunch of gain? So you can hear it's nice and quiet with the humbucker. Put it into the middle one, and yeah, there's that hum. If I do much more than that, it's gonna go out of tune because cheap Floyd Rose, not one of the real expensive ones. For a cheap project, I thought that was okay. Now, the action is maybe slightly higher than I'd like it, but it's not too bad. This bridge is just taller than your standard Strat bridge, like that. So that's why, and I did have to put a shim in there. Maybe I have to put another one in there to make it nice and low action. But the neck was pretty straight right out of the box. No big issues there, and the frets were nice and level. So that's pretty awesome. The tuners are, they not the best, not great tuners. The pickups, well, you can hear they sound like pickups. Amazing, maybe not amazing, but they sound all right. I kind of like the stratiness of it. So they are ceramic, which probably comes as no surprise. They tend to be cheaper than Alnico. But it does work. It's a playable guitar, and not terrible sounding, but maybe not the best ever. Let me know what you think. Anything that you would have done differently, let me know in the comments. Also, I know this is not the standard pickguard. This is not the standard pickguard color. It was the same color as these pickups, but I thought all that yellow, off-white, whatever you want to call it, didn't look great with the orange body. So I took everything out and I painted it, and there it is. Now it's silver. Until I scratch it up plain, and then it'll have some yellow scratches in it, I guess. And that's where we are. I think in retrospect, I would have just gotten an aftermarket 2-point trim instead of using the stock 6-point trim. But I'm not sure what I'm going to end up doing with this. I can always make some more mods, although this is all routed out here so that I can fit the Floyd in here. But, anyone has any great thoughts and ideas, I'd love to hear them. let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video, which should be coming really soon.